In today's news, Works Minister says efforts limited ERIN'S toll. Wheatley backs 53-member CARIFESTA team despite criticism. Mather presses for sex offenders list and sustainable sargassum cleanup. And section near RITEWAY shut until Wednesday morning. These and more stories when To It For News returns.
Start the year off with more. More speed, more downloading, more savings, and more fire. CCT Fire Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected. Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second, super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI, CCT Fire, and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
Welcome to the Tuesday, August 19th edition of To It For News. I am Jacques Wooding, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. Thank you so much for joining us. Minister for Communications and Works, the Honorable Kai Reimer, said that the volume of rainfall from Hurricane Erin placed a significant strain on drainage systems and contributed to localized impacts across several districts. However, Reimer, during a press conference on Monday, credited proactive gut clearing, road preparation, and careful coordination among agencies that were able to mount swift responses to the impacts that did occur.
Some of the impacts included minor landslides across multiple districts. Some roads experienced washouts, particularly in vulnerable low-lying zones. We had fallen trees and hillside debris. They were widespread. Mud accumulation required rapid cleanup to keep roads and access routes safe. For the Water and Sewage Department on Tortola, we had a pipe exposure that was noted at Sabbath Hill, Joes Hill, Tread Falls, Jennings Hill, and Nottingham Estate. Sabbath Hill and Jennings Hill and Nottingham Estate sustained the most severe impacts. Mitigation to repairs on Tortola included regrading the road base and drainage improvement and concreting of the road surface. Nottingham Estate, we had fractured pipeline being relayed and road rehabilitation ongoing. In Jennings Hill, rehabilitation requiring a revetment wall, designs and costings are being prepared at the moment. The estimated cost for these mitigations work is $66,500 thus far.
Reimer noted key achievements in the response, particularly to Hurricane Erin.
The gut adjacent to the Rotown Fire Station, it remained fully operational with no overflow damage due to the pre-storm preparations. Heavy equipment was deployed in real time to stabilize saturated road and clear debris. Every site was visually logged and assessed for structural, environmental, and public safety impacts. All the interventions prevented more severe damage. We recorded 85% improvement in operational readiness compared to previous rainfall events. In some districts, zero-cost interventions were achieved through collaborative partnerships. Documentation models developed during this response will be aligned with ministry standards and will support future policy development. Our preparedness efforts significantly reduce the potential for greater damage. The Water and Sewage Department, Public Works team, they acted swiftly to mitigate against impacts, to restore services where possible, and ensure public safety.
He also said that recovery works are ongoing, critical areas have been prioritized, and cost estimates are being compiled so that they can move on quickly with repairs. CARIFESTA is big business, and the BVI is making a huge splash at this year's event. For the first time in 6 years, the Virgin Islands is sending a 53-member delegation to CARIFESTA 15 from August 22nd through the 31st. The theme for this year's CARIFESTA is Caribbean Roots, Global Excellence. Premier Dr. Natalia Wheatley said CARIFESTA is a premier festival which celebrates the vibrancy, creativity, and innovation of Caribbean culture, while addressing global challenges such as sustainability, resilience, and peace building.
Our delegation, composed of talented Virgin Islanders across music, dance, theater, the culinary arts, and crafts, represents the essence of our cultural identity. These cultural ambassadors will not only share their gifts with regional and international audiences, but also tell our stories in a way that ensures the Virgin Islands is recognized as a vibrant and integral contributor to the Caribbean's cultural tapestry. The significance of this participation extends far beyond performance. CARIFESTA provides a unique platform for cultural exchange, collaboration, and inspiration, deepening regional bonds and affirming the role of our heritage in shaping Caribbean identity. Through this engagement, our artists will strengthen both their craft and the wider regional cultural sector. As Premier and Minister of Culture, I commend our delegation for their dedication and commitment as representatives of our territory. I also extend gratitude to the many supporters and organizers who have made this journey possible. Together, we ensure that our cultural voice is heard, our heritage celebrated, and our legacy sustained on both a regional and international stage. We remain attentive as final preparations are made, particularly mindful of weather developments during this active hurricane season. Necessary precautions are being taken to ensure the safety and success of our delegation as they prepare to represent the Virgin Islands with distinction.
Junior Minister for Culture and Tourism, Honorable Luce Hodge-Smith, who is heading the Virgin Islands delegation, stated that this year's delegation is special as it brings together seasoned cultural practitioners who have been honing their craft for years, alongside new emerging artists bringing fresh energy and perspectives.
Their commitment is not easy, but it is necessary and deeply appreciated. I especially want to highlight the youth delegation. 13 of our students, accompanied by 3 chaperones, will have the opportunity to participate. For them, this is more than just a trip. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to learn, connect with peers across the region, and witness firsthand how culture shapes their identity. We are proud of them and grateful to their parents, teachers, and supporters who made their trip possible. The ministry's role in this process has been one of coordination, empowerment, and support, ensuring that our delegation has the logistical, financial, and organizational resources needed to succeed. Beyond simply facilitating travel and participation, our goal is to empower the artists by creating spaces for them to develop their craft, gain exposure, and build a network that will benefit the territory a long, long time after CARIFESTA ends.
Meanwhile, Premier Wheatley hit back at the leader of the opposition, Honorable Myron Walwyn, when he said he was wasting money on party-related events such as $219,000 on the CARIFESTA delegation.
If my crime is investing in the young people of the territory, all of the young people that you see here, giving them opportunities for exposure at the Caribbean Festival of the Arts, then I'm guilty as charged. You know, that's something that I'm proud of. I've been to CARIFESTA, so I know the impact that CARIFESTA has on young persons. We've had persons who went to CARIFESTA in 2019, and I've just seen them blossom and grow in the arts, and I'm sure that experience was important to them. As it pertains to the Uber Soca Cruise, I see that Uber Soca Cruise as important as really marketing to a different demographic, than we've been marketing before. Persons in the region. You have many persons in the region who support that cruise. They come, they spend money in your jurisdiction. They provide a great exposure to the jurisdiction. And I think that's also an investment that will have great dividends for the territory.
Up next, Barnes and MARCELLIN named as 2025 Miss Teen BVI delegates, and more stories when 284 News returns.
My name's Henry Bosch. I work for PPG. I'm here to explain to you the use of the Deltron NXT paint line and Enviro-based high performance, one being solvent-borne and the next being waterborne. The difference is that one is totally manufactured with rosins and thinners and all the good stuff that solvents bring versus our new technology, which is waterborne, which is 100% latex. What we're gonna do is that we reduce the solvent-borne with a DT885, which is a mid-temp reducer, and the waterborne uses T494, which is a waterborne reducer. We will today be using either DCU 2042, which is a speed clear, or we will be using DCU 2021, which is a classic. We have here our equipment. We have 8-ounce measuring cups, and we also have our 32-ounce mixing cup. We will also have with us our Venturi. This is a blower for us to dry the waterborne paint, which speeds up the process. The good thing about waterborne paint is that as soon as it evaporates, you're good to go. So now Gilligan will dilute the waterborne paint with the waterborne reducer. We made 8 ounces, that would be 1.6 ounce. It always has to be properly mixed until we get an even mixture within the paint mixing cup. So when we spray, we don't see uneven coats of color. So right now we're filling our paint gun with 8 ounces of diluted paint. We're gonna see how far 8 ounces will take us. Waterborne paint seems to look blotchy on your first coat. Don't pay no mind to that. Don't try to achieve full coverage on your first spray. Excellent. Let it dry. So the process in waterborne is 2 even coats, and then we have what we call a dust coat. Well, now we're gonna have Mr. Brown apply the first coat of clear on his waterborne panel. We'll let it flash off, and then he'll come back and coat it with his second coat to finish it off. As you had seen in the previous shots, we had a little blotchiness, and you'll see some patches. That's all due on purpose to sandpaper to prove that with Enviro-based high performance, all technicians, the body work has to end at 800 grit or plus. Well, Enviro-based is like we're trying to shift everyone into that slowly but surely. The entire west coast of the United States and all of Canada has already been on waterborne for the past 10 years. And now soon it'll be the eastern seaboard, which covers the Caribbean. So when that happens, we'll all be affected. So it's best to start now, start trying and applying waterborne, because eventually everyone will be on it. And referring to technicians, it's less harmful because it doesn't have all the toxic chemicals that solvent-borne paints do.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Territorial Member Honorable Stacey Mather has renewed calls for a sex offenders registry in the Virgin Islands. Mather first spoke about the issue in April of last year. At that time, he said children need to be protected, saying there are persons who are coming into the community and those who are being repatriated into the community who have criminal records. Speaking under other business recently in the House of Assembly, Mather again highlighted the issue.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to talk about a website that you to read. It's called Virgin Islands News Online. I'm sure you to read it. I'm sure everybody in here to read it. And when was it? May? I think it was May the 5th. This big headline that April had 200% more sargassum in the region than any time. Mr. Speaker, if you look Virgin Garda, Handsome Bay, all the other bays, I was looking at Seacouls Bay. I love Seacouls Bay, Hog City down there, full of by nanny key going around. And perspective, I think the deputy premier get $200,000 extra. Well, okay, that means we're gonna be cooking with gas. I'm gonna be seeing big things going on with sargassum. Means up beef island when you go trellis bit, clean. I'll throw the territory. Now my question is this. If it's said, and I remember the predictions from before, why we wait so late? Why we made so late to make action? Every year we know this is going to happen. We're going to do the same methods. Yeah, how can drag it out. Go down in other Caribbean countries and other places. And I know people that say, don't compare. But we do compare. That's why we travel. We travel to compare. We travel to see other places, right? Other Caribbean countries throughout the world, they go and they get it out in the harbor. They find out we had a young man, I think he was in the 6th district. He had a machine, brewing. Who used to go and do it? What happened?
And on another issue, Mather called for more sustainable methods to deal with sargassum in the territory.
It is the job of all of us to come up with strategies to reduce crime. It may not be aggressive strategies that include law enforcement. It may be prevention or deterrence. But I see the Premier doing a crime summit. I'm hoping that the plan comes with the summit. I'm hoping that's what happens. Mr. Speaker, the sex offenders registry. The Minister of Health, I can honestly say, has been committed. And I expect to see that coming shortly, right, Minister? It's coming shortly. Because when you look on social media, you have parents who are saying people are going after their children. You have women who complain about men complaining about men. Our country needs some kind of protection because we have predators. So I just want to go on record again that I support that and I will continue to hammer it.
Meanwhile, a section of road at the entrance to RITEWAY Passia Estate location has been cordoned off and will remain closed to traffic until the morning of Wednesday, August 20th, as the Ministry of Communications and Works carries out infrastructure work in the area. Public Works Director Jeremy Hodge is urging motorists to exercise patience and caution while navigating near the site.
This is Jeremy Hodge, Director of Public Works. Just giving an update. The entrance heading into RITEWAY is cordoned off, as you can see from the footage. We need to keep it closed until tomorrow morning, allowing the concrete to cure. We're going to cast it today and just asking for a little patience from the motoring public to allow the concrete to dry overnight and drive cautiously as you get to that area using the one right lane heading towards the east.
In other news, the 14th edition of Miss Teen British Virgin Islands is officially underway, celebrating over 2 decades of youth empowerment, cultural pride, and community impact since its founding in 2002. Director of the Miss Teen British Virgin Islands pageant, Rupert Vanterpool, said the event continues to serve as a platform for young women to develop confidence, leadership, and social purpose while honoring the Virgin Islands heritage. The winner will be crowned Teen Ambassador for the territory, representing the BVI in regional and international pageants and championing causes that matter to her and her peers. This year's competition features 2 delegates, Jasiana Barnes and Meyer Marcellin. Both contestants are described as talented, intelligent, and deeply committed to representing the territory with grace and authority. Event dates and further details on this year's coronation are expected to be announced soon. Up next, Anegada now powered up to 19 hours daily by solar energy. And more stories when 284 News returns.
Life is unpredictable, and when a storm is coming, having a plan can make all the difference.
We need a plan in case of a hurricane. Everyone, let's work together on this.
This is where we go in case if we need to evacuate. This is safe away from flood zones. I will use this room as our secure space if we have to stay home.
Don't forget to save our local contacts and also our off-island contacts.
Right. And we need to have a plan for our pets too. They can't go to shelters, so we need a safe place for them.
In case we get separated, we should have a meeting spot. How about the community center?
That's good. And we can leave a note there too.
I feel safe knowing we have a plan.
With a plan, you're not just preparing for the worst, you're taking control of the situation. A message from the Department of Disaster Management and 284 Media.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Leaders are hailing the Anegada Solar Project as a milestone in the Virgin Islands' shift to green energy, with the solar farm now powering the island for up to 19 hours per day. At an update on the project, Premier Dr. Natalia Wheatley, Minister Kai Reimer, District Representative Vincent Wheatley, BVIEC General Manager Dr. Neil Smith, and contractor representatives described the initiative as a glimpse into the territory's renewable future.
We're here on Anegada, basically getting an update and a milestone for the people of Anegada as we work towards a government where we're supporting renewable energy. It's a mandate of this government that we go 60% renewable energy, and we set a target date of 2030. But today we're here celebrating an Anegada that there is no generator working. All the run-ins for the homes are done through renewable energy, and we're here with the team to get an update as to the progress here with this energy farm.
Essentially what it's taken is a lot of grit, a lot of hard work, a lot of ingenuity, and cooperation between the contractors and ourselves. This is a signature project for us. It's a view into the future. As the minister said, we expect to be going significantly into renewable energy, the production of energy in the territory. And this is a prime example of what is possible. This facility runs Anegada on renewable energy for around 19 hours a day right now. And we're still tweaking the system and expect it to get better.
Or did the installation from the ground up. So we've got about 1.2 megawatts of solar panels, DC side, and we produce about 900 kilowatts of solar AC, or we have that capability to produce 900 kilowatts. Then we have 4 containers of energy storage. Each one is about a megawatt hour, and that's 4 megawatt hours in total that we have to be able to run Anegada. Right now, what will be happening is the batteries are charging from the solar, and the solar is supplying Anegada with power right now. As the sun kind of goes down, it'll start to transition over onto the batteries, and the batteries will supply the energy to Anegada till probably about early hours of the morning, and that's going to depend on your sunlight. So the last 3 days weren't great because we had a lot of cloud, but like a day today we'll probably run a good close to 19 hours, 20 hours or so.
I am so excited today. I was telling the Premier, I stood here on this spot in 2019, and I said one day Anegada is going to have power from solar panels and no diesel. Today, those words have come to light and to truth. I spoke truth to power, and today we are seeing that vision. I really want to thank this Premier here for taking up the mantle that Andrew Foy had laid down, that we should start with Anegada. Seeing Anegada was totally off the grid. Anegada was a virgin territory. We started this to keep Anegada as pristine as we can. And it speaks of government's commitment to renewable energy, to a pristine environment, and that's exactly what we're seeing here today. This is a good place to start, but we're not going to end here in Anegada. We've only started here. We're going to prove of concept right here, and we see from what we've heard, it is working. So we take it from here and move on to the other islands, hopefully Virgin-Ada and Tortola and Jasper Neck in the not-too-distant future. We are fully committed to our pledge, 60% by 2030, or maybe even more than that. I want to thank all the guys, the current minister, and Hartley and Mr. Smith and everybody who made this possible for the people of Anegada. It is so important. I don't know if we're going to see changes in prices, but maybe we'll see what's possible because it's a huge investment and it will take some time to get a return on it. But nonetheless, I'm so pleased to see that we're moving from diesel into renewable solar energy. It's a lot out here today.
It's a great day in Anegada. It's a great day in the Virgin Islands. And I just really want to thank the team because we have a vision of the Virgin Islands being a place that's an example to the world as it pertains to utilizing the power of the sun and the power of nature to be able to power our community. And that's what we're doing here in Anegada. Anegada is a model for the whole world as it pertains to an eco-island or eco-community. Now we see that the power needs of Anegada is being generated mainly through solar power. How many places in the world can say that? We might take it lightly, but that is a big accomplishment. And it's something that we want to be able to build upon, as the representative for the area said. You know, in Tortola, we have a project to put solar panels on roofs because we may not have as much land space available in Tortola, but we have the roof space that we can put solar panels and try to achieve something similar. Of course, our power needs in Tortola are vastly more, but it doesn't mean that we can't cut down the amount of diesel that we use in Tortola and have more capacity so that when we are doing maintenance of generators, etc., you have enough capacity where you don't have to load shed. This operation in Anegada was heavily subsidized by the Electricity Corporation. So now we made an investment that will give us value for money because, of course, it won't be the need for that heavy subsidization. It'll be much less fuel being consumed over here in Anegada. And that is a success story for the entire Virgin Islands. So let me just say congratulations to the Minister, Honorable Kairima. You know, he's a hard worker and he's getting results in every portfolio. Let me just say every portfolio subject. Electricity is no different. And he's getting results because he has a good team. Permanent Secretary Elvia Smith Maduro, she's getting the job done. You have the General Manager of the Electricity Corporation, Neil Smith. He's getting the job done. And of course, he has an able team. You see them around us, an able team supporting the operations. I also want to acknowledge Andrew Foy. He held the portfolio when we started this particular project. I want to acknowledge Leroy Abraham. You know, he was held the position of General Manager when we started. And all the other persons who contributed. It has been a team effort. And of course, the representative has been very supportive of the project. And I just want to say it's a lot more to come. You know, these things take some time. You know, we broke ground in December 2022. It took a little while to get here, but, you know, we're going to get there. We're persistent, we're determined, and we are going to get to the result. And there's much more to come, I have to tell the people of the Virgin Islands. But for this one, we have to celebrate this accomplishment. Job well done, Honorable Kairima and team. Job well done.
Thank you, Premier. I just want to say one thing, Premier. Thanks for the kind words. And I too acknowledge the hard work done. But this is just basically an update. We haven't commissioned the plant as yet. So we just came to understand that it's working and to you know, just highlight what is happening here and how far we've gotten. So I just want to say the commissioning date we'll announce and we'll get back to you on that. But again, thank you. GM, thank you and your team. Rep, thank you for always asking the questions. Premier, thank you for your support. PS, thank you.
And that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com. Like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. I'm Jacko Wooding and I will see you again tomorrow. So have yourself a safe and enjoyable evening. Goodbye.